Hello and welcome to today's presentation, Weight Loss Acceleration, the 4 Secrets to Fast Track Weight Loss and Live a Healthy Lifestyle. I want to welcome you to today's presentation. It's really great to have you here. I'm sure that you may have been on other online classes where they start out playing games and telling stories, and it's like, come on, let's get to the good stuff. That's the way that I like to run my classes. So if you don't mind, I'd like to dive right into the presentation because I've prepared some excellent content for you. All right, so let's first of all talk about who this masterclass is for. So this masterclass is actually geared towards the professional woman who's been struggling for years with yo-yo dieting, sometimes gaining weight, losing weight, and then gaining it back and then gaining more. This is also for you if you're confused about what to eat because there's so many diet programs and products out there. This is also for you if you need to lose at least 10 pounds. You want to once and for all get this part of your life handled and never have to go on another diet again. If any of these sound like you, then you know what? This masterclass is for you. During this class, what you're going to learn is you're going to learn about the right foods for you, and you're going to no longer be confused about which foods to eat. In addition to that, I'm going to show you how you can quickly drop 10 to 20 pounds in the next 30 to 60 days or less without stepping foot into the gym. That's right. And you're going to finally quit beating yourself up over your weight issues. And I'm going to show you personally why it's not your fault that you have a weight problem to begin with and what has been holding you back over these years. You're also going to learn how to control yourself around food and without worrying about binge eating. And you're going to no longer be ashamed feeling that food controls you. And I'm going to show you my exact process that my clients use to reset your body so that you can start to immediately burn belly fat and reduce inflammation 24/7. So I want you to get ready to live in your right size body and lead a happy and healthy lifestyle. If you're ready for that, then here's my promise to you. Is you're going to have a step-by-step strategy to drop 10 pounds or more, and most importantly, never gain it back. I'm going to show you how to take control over your weight loss, show you once again the exact process that my clients have used to lose weight quickly, and most importantly, never gain it back. You are about to learn the most sustainable weight loss program on the planet. So before we go any further, let me take a moment and check in with you and see if any of these sound like you. Do you feel like a loser because you truly want to get into better shape, but you find yourself sleeping in instead of going to the gym? And you say you want a nice body, but you find yourself sometimes eating everything in sight, and you buy clothes to hide your body and skin tone versus embracing it. And are you sick of struggling with your weight? You've tried all kinds of diets and food plans. You've read all the books, and you're still not where you want to be. You don't know if you should do keto or paleo or a detox or a cleanse, or maybe go to a fat and wellness retreat, maybe go vegan, take diet pills, do shakes for breakfast. It's truly exhausting trying to navigate through it all. And maybe this sounds like you. You're just confused about what to eat because of all the food choices out there. And you secretly feel that food controls you. And you feel that, you know what, it's just so frustrating that carbs are good one day, and then the next day they're bad for you, right? And then one day it's all about fasting or doing a detox, and then the next day they tell you not to. Did you know that there's over 112 million listings on Google for how to lose weight, and over 35 million listings on how to diet? You know what, it's no wonder that you're overwhelmed. And do you ever feel that no matter what you do, you're just never going to lose the weight and keep it off? You've tried so many times. You know, if any of these sound like you, I've got good news. Because guess what? None of them are the real problem. Ladies, these are just symptoms of a bigger problem. You see, the real problem is that you haven't made what I call the shifts. And so I'm going to go ahead and tell you what they are in just a moment. But I want you to know that once you make them, oh my goodness, you're going to feel beautiful and confident and sexy again. You're not going to have any more of that yo-yo dieting. And you're not going to be confused about what you should be eating or not eating. And you're going to know what to eat, whether you're going out to dinner, to a party, you're traveling, or you're just eating at home, knowing that you're nourishing your body and burning fat. Your health and energy will start to improve. Your skin will improve. Your moodiness and mood swings will go away. And you know what? You're going to actually enjoy posting on Facebook and Instagram pictures of how beautiful and amazing you look in your new clothes. And you know what? Your mate or your significant other is going to find you truly irresistible. So now, let me tell you a little bit about me and why you should listen to me. So my name is Joan Teglovic, and the name of my business is Joan of Health. And I actually created the Weight Loss Acceleration and Healthy Lifestyle program. And what I do is I specialize in helping professional women go on their last diet, get a flatter stomach and healthier lifestyle for themselves and their family. In addition to that, I'm a board-certified health and weight loss coach. I'm also a strategic intervention life coach. I've studied over 100 different diet theories and ways of eating. I've been coaching for over 10 years now. In addition to that, I've had an extensive corporate career. And during my corporate career, I was actually in the food business. I was on the marketing and sales side, the manufacturing side, and also the distribution side. And you know what? I personally know what the food manufacturers put into food that actually affects our weight and our health. Okay, so now I'm going to talk about how it is that I discovered these 4 simple shifts to lose weight, keep it off, and most importantly, never gain it back. You see, for years I struggled with my weight and mood swings and binge eating, and I never felt really good enough about myself. And one year during my annual Well Woman visit, I was actually diagnosed with an ovarian tumor, and they didn't know if it was cancerous or not. And if so, they're usually terminal within 5 years. So I was immediately scheduled for surgery, and during my surgery, my doctor removed both my ovaries, my cervix, and my uterus. And as a result, I could never have a baby of my own. And that's something that saddens me to this day. Now, luckily, it wasn't cancerous, and when I asked my doctor, how in the world did this happen, she says, you know what, we just don't know. Well, you know what? I found this answer to be completely unacceptable. My whole reproduction system had just been taken from me. And this was a big turning point for my life. And I realized, you know what? I need to get to the bottom of this and find out why, because my doctor is not going to tell me. So what I did was I studied over 100 different diet theories to learn why this could have happened. And I learned how my diet was making me sick and fat and moody, and it was causing my health issues. So it took me over 20 years to figure this out. And so what I've done is I have incorporated what I've learned into these shifts that I'm about to share with you. And I'm healthy, happy, thin, and free of diseases. So here's the thing. The bottom line is this. There are actually 4 key shifts that you must make if you want to lose weight and keep it off. So I'm going to go ahead and walk you through them. So shift number 1 is do not exercise during the weight loss phase, because guess what it does? Is it actually results in weight gain. You see, when we decrease food consumption, our metabolism slows down so that we can function with less food. Diets are designed that way. However, when we increase exercise while decreasing food consumption, this also lowers your metabolism. So during the weight loss phase, exercise actually has the opposite effect. And it's called the compensation effect. And what's happening is it's going to make you hungrier and more susceptible to go off your diet. And you're going to hear that little voice inside of you that says, oh, hey, I've been good on my diet. I'm going to go have a bagel or a muffin or maybe a little piece of pizza or some ice cream. Can you relate to that? You see, it's too much for a person to learn how to eat and stick to a food plan consistently and also working out. You see, adding exercise on top of learning how to eat, our brains have a hard time processing so much change at once. And if the new behaviors are not conditioned, then you get frustrated and overwhelmed and you quit. So this is one of the biggest reasons that most diets fail. There's a lot of well-documented studies out there, but unfortunately the apparel and food companies, they keep this research buried. You know, remember that TV show called The Biggest Loser, where severely obese people were on the show. They had been exercising eating, really, really low calorie. And some of the exercises that they were doing were things like burpees. And those were so hard on their body and their joints and their hearts and their souls. And guess what? 99% of the contestants actually gained the weight back and even more. You see, the weight loss phase is a very special time. Your body's going through a lot of release and it's tired. It's getting rid of stored up toxins and fat and bacteria and inflammation. And what most people don't understand is if you look at a fat cell, it's just not fat in there. It's all those toxins that you've had for years. It's bacteria and inflammation. And you know what? Your body's releasing that. And when you're exercising on top of it, you know what? It's going to derail your efforts. So shift number 1 is do not exercise during the weight loss phase. It's a recipe for failure. Once we get your weight off and you're eating properly, then we add exercise. Okay? So let's talk about a success story. Here is Camilla. And Camilla actually lost 50 pounds without exercising. That's right. She suffered from being overweight most of her life. Her parents were alcoholics. They were always fighting. As a child, food was comfort to her. She loved to binge on donuts and M&Ms and ice cream, and she couldn't stop. She tried Weight Watchers, Atkins, diet pills, keto, Overeaters Anonymous she even went to. And as she got older, she was able to use exercise and regular dieting to control her weight, but it was never consistent. So she was one of those that would eat, and then, okay, I'm going to go to the gym and burn it off. And you know what? She was so ashamed, she used to pray to God for help. And when she found the weight loss acceleration program, it was different than anything she'd ever tried. Because you know what? It addressed the root cause and the effects. And within 4 weeks, the weight started coming off, and she was free from food controlling her. And she exercises now because she loves to, not because she has to. It's been over 3 years. She's maintained her goal weight, and she looks and feels great and has found a freedom that she never knew was there. So now let's talk about shift number 2. So shift number 2 is what I call ditch the standard American diet. You see, there's a big misconception out there about overeating. And what I'm going to show you in this shift is that it is not your fault that you're overweight. You see, foods from the standard American diet are scientifically addictive and actually cause weight gain. You see, at least 108 million people in America are on a diet and they fail. That's 108 million people. Why is that? It's because we've all grown up eating what I call the standard American diet, which is eating cereal and ice cream and cake and cookies and milk and pasta, packaged foods, bagels, muffins, pizza, soda, diet soda, foods with refined sugars and flours, industrialized beef, anything in a box. I could go on and on. These foods have actually messed with our brain chemistry and how our body processes what we eat and drink. So let me explain what this means. You see, these foods are actually designed to be addictive. I call them designer addictive foods, just like designer clothes that we, have to have. But these foods, they're not really foods. These foods have actually hijacked our hormones and our neurotransmitters by altering our brain chemistry. And because of this, our weight loss efforts, they're blocked. And these foods cause us to binge eat, they trigger cravings, even when we've already had plenty of food to eat. You see, this is very, very, very serious. And most people don't know this. And if you get anything out of this masterclass that will help you for the rest of your life, it's understanding what's really going on here. So let me give you an example. How many times have you just had dinner and you just settled in to watch TV? And what do? You grab a bag of chips or some ice cream or maybe a piece of cake, and you still don't feel full or satisfied. Why not? It's because our bodies haven't yet adapted to this nonstop smorgasbord of calories from heavily processed foods and refined sugars and flour. And so when we eat too much, this excess food that we don't immediately burn off, it goes into our fat cells, which is normal. So as our fat cells become fuller, they secrete a hormone called leptin. And what leptin is, it's a feedback mechanism in the brain that's supposed to tell you, hey, stop eating, you're full. But since we've been eating the wrong foods for so long, many of us have what we call leptin resistance, which means your brain isn't getting the message to stop eating. So our brains think we are starving, so we keep eating. And here's another way to look at it. Think about the last time that you needed to get gas. You looked at your gas tank, it's almost empty. So you go to the gas station, you pull up to the pump, you open up your gas tank, you put the pump in there, and you sit there and you start pumping your gas, right? You're pumping, you're pumping, you're pumping, you're pumping. All of a sudden you hear this click, right? And it tells you stop pumping the gas. And you stop pumping the gas. You take out the pump, you put it back on the stand there. You close your gas tank, and then you leave, right? So think about leptin resistance like this. What if what if you were filling up your gas tank and you didn't hear that little click? You would keep, pumping the gas. What would it do? It would go all over the engine. It would go all over the ground. It would really wreak havoc on your engine and cause a lot of problems, right? So that's the same thing that's happening when your brain isn't getting the message for you to stop eating. So that's why you keep eating and eating and eating, and you stay fat. Okay? So here's another way that the standard American diet is making you fat. How many times have you had a craving for a certain food? I used to drive 10 miles to a specialty store for this certain brand of chocolate chip macadamia nut cookies. I loved those, used to be addicted to them. I would actually buy the bag, I'd sit in my car, I'd turn on the radio, and I'd eat the whole bag in one sitting. We're talking 4 pounds of these. 4 pounds. Why is this? It's because foods that are full of sugar, what they do is they hit a part of our brain called dopamine receptors. And this is the feel-good center of the brain, and this is the happy place of your brain. So a lot of times if you're not happy, or if you're stressed, or you're depressed, it's because you don't have enough dopamine in your brain. So when we eat a lot of foods that have refined sugar and flour, our receptors are flooded with too much dopamine, It's just like a pinball machine lighting up on steroids. And you see, these receptors, they're just not designed to process these types of foods, from cookies and candy and cake and ice cream and pizza and chips and things like that. So since these receptors can't handle so many chemicals, a process called downregulation is created. And what this says is it changes the physiology of your brain chemistry. And so it leaves you always craving feel-good foods to keep you happy, like sweets and candy and cookies and things like that. And that's why we get moody and go crazy if we can't get our food fixes. These foods have literally broken your brain. So no matter what you do, you're not going to lose weight if you continue to eat these types of food. So as a result, you desire these to make you feel good. Plus, growing up, if we were sad, or if we had a bad day at school, what did mommy do? She gave us cookies and ice cream and candy and all kinds of things, right? So you can't help but want these. They're addictive. You see, it's not your fault that you have a weight problem. Do you understand that? So now I want to give you a couple more statistics. Sugar is actually said to be 8 times more addictive than cocaine. And the food companies know this, and they thrive on it because of this. I mean, think about it everywhere you go. Cupcakes, cookies, candies, it's everywhere. And you know what? That's why it's so hard to stop eating these things. It's not your fault. This actually brought tears to my eyes when I first learned this, because I spent so much of my life thinking, what is wrong with me? Why can't I lose weight and keep it off? This is why, all right? So how do we fix this? The key here is to understand how sensitive you are to the pull of these kinds of foods that you've been eating. And once you determine your sensitivity, we can then tailor a proper weight loss program that's sustainable. So let me elaborate. There's 3 types of eaters in the world. There's those that, cookies and candy and those types of food just don't appeal to them. They're fine with it. Then there's another, category of people, probably about 30% of the population. They're the ones that can do what we call moderation. They could have a cookie or 2, be fine with it. Have a piece of pizza, have a cheeseburger, be fine with it. Then there's another category of people. These are the ones that you give them 1 hamburger, they want another. You give them 1 piece of pizza, they want another. They've already had a nice dinner, they want to sit down, have a glass of wine or some chips or some popcorn or, a dessert. So there's that category of people. So once we determine, once again, where you're at, then we tailor a program specifically so that your weight melts off. This is the only thing that creates sustainable weight loss, and only 1% of the population know it. So you see, this is the answer. So now let's move on to a case study. This is Leanne, and she lost over 45 pounds in 3 months, and she has kept it off. You know, she tried every diet out there. She was addicted to pizza, cafe lattes, chocolate chip ice cream. She had a lot of mood swings, and she also suffered from anxiety. And she had no idea how the foods that she was eating was causing her to not be able to lose weight and keep it off. So once she started working with us, she was waking up feeling more energetic. Her sugar hangovers were gone. Her obsession with pizza and pasta and ice cream started to go away. She even stopped binge eating and no longer stood in front of the refrigerator devouring a tub of ice cream. Her mood swings and anxiety started to go away as well. She felt lighter, she started to feel pretty again, and she has since reached her goal weight, and she's a totally different person. And here's what she says: hey, I got my healthy back. All right, so now let's go on to shift number 3. So shift number three is what I call be empowered. You see, there's a misconception out there that you don't have any control over your weight and your health. You see, being empowered is about taking control over this versus you feeling that you don't have any control over your weight and health. Let me explain. You see that I find that without accepting 100% responsibility for your health and your lifestyle, nothing else really matters. You know, it's important that you take a step back and understand, what it means to have what I call integrity with your body and how you treat it. And one of the most important factors to creating extraordinary health is energy. Yet we often put our bodies on the back burner. So, how do we take responsibility and have integrity with our bodies when we've tried so many times and failed? It's about shifting our mindset, understanding that your body and your lifestyle is truly a mirror to how you've been living. And so, whatever's going on with your weight and health is because of what's going on inside of you. And you need to learn to cultivate what I call a powerful mindset that's going to get you to your goal weight and to live a healthy lifestyle. And if you don't have this, it's not going to matter what I teach you to eat or drink or what anybody else teaches you, because you're going to fail if you don't have it. 80% is mindset and conditioning new behaviors so that they become automatic. We have these neural pathways in our brain that are wired in a certain way so that we react and do things in a certain way. And when we want to start to do something new, if we don't reprogram those neural pathways, we're going to go ahead and default to the old way. And so it's very important that you get this mindset conditioning so that you can eat right and exercise right and lose the weight. Okay, once again, 80% mindset, 20% mechanics. And without mindset conditioning and proper eating habits, once again, most Americans are overweight and obese. And, 99% of people that go on a diet fail and gain more weight. So the odds, they're just not stacked in your favor. So here's how we overcome it. Ready? So what's what I call the mind-body reset. This is the new way. This is the way that works. Currently, the old way is you get a diet, right, and a meal plan. You decide what kind of diet that you're going to do. You also get an exercise plan. And you're supposed to follow the meal plan and the exercise plan, and it works for a while, right? Especially if you're super motivated. But then it doesn't work. You always fall off and feel like a loser and keep trying and trying and trying. But it doesn't work for over 99% of the world. So here is the new way. First of all, we need to condition the new behaviors, right? Then, while we're conditioning new behaviors, you need to eat the right foods that are going to fix your brain chemistry. The weight starts to come off. You're enjoying your new healthy lifestyle. It's that easy. This is the only sustainable diet on the planet. All right, so we have another success story. This is Denise, and she actually grew up on the standard American diet as well. And she used to eat lots of hamburgers and hot dogs and meat and potatoes and sweets. She lived in the Midwest where it was cold and dreary. And what they did for entertainment was cook and go out to eat and have lots of dinner parties. After she went through a divorce, she was finding herself gaining more and more weight. And when she found the weight loss acceleration program, what really helped her to lose the weight quickly was the understanding of how she was addicted to so many fast foods and, of course, desserts. And when she stopped eating those foods that were making her binge, the weight just started to melt off. She lost 35 pounds. And here's the beautiful thing is she hasn't gained a single pound back. The food plan and the structure made it very easy for her to stick to. She's in control of her health and her life, and if she ever finds herself slipping and gaining weight, she's got all the tools that she needs to get her back on track. All right, so let me do a quick recap here. So we've talked about the first shift, which was stopping your exercise for quicker weight loss results. The second shift was about ditching the standard American diet and how bad so many of the foods that we, eat, are messing with our body and our brain chemistry. And then we also talked about being empowered and using the mind-body reboot and how important mindset is. All right, so now let's move on to shift number 4. So shift number 4 is invest in the right mentoring. You see, finding the right mentor will empower you with focus, insight, and accountability that you're going to need to lose the weight and keep it off. And remember, 108 million Americans go on 4 to 5 diets per year and they fail due to the foods from the standard American diet. And 63% of people are going to die this year from diet-related diseases, including cancer and diabetes and stroke. And over the next 20 years, developed nations like us, they're going to spend $47 trillion on diseases that are caused by this global industrialized diet. Don't be another statistic. Don't go at it alone anymore. Working with a mentor actually increases your results by over 75% versus doing it alone. And in addition to that, with the help of a health mentor, studies have shown that participants lost over 9% of their body weight in less than 60 days. So find the best coach out there, invest whatever it takes to work with them and get well. Trying to lose weight and keep it off and maintain a healthy lifestyle, it's nearly impossible nowadays. How many more times will you continue to try and fail? There's a war going on with the food industry. And you know what? You deserve to have the body of your dreams. And you need help from someone who's solved this problem thousands of times and who has walked in your shoes and has the best solution that's proven and fast. So I know you've already tried this on your own and it hasn't worked. So here's what you need to succeed. Today I promise to show you why it is that you're having trouble, controlling yourself around certain foods and what you need to do about it. We also talked about how to use the mind-body reset to keep the weight off forever. And so what it is that you need to succeed is to stop exercising to leverage your metabolism for quicker results. Ditch the standard American diet and fix your brain chemistry that's been destroyed by refined foods. Be empowered using the mind-body reset and invest in mentoring. So once again, these 4 shifts alone are enough to propel you to lose 10 pounds immediately and, most importantly, go on your last diet. So now you have a choice. You can either take the information that I've given you and forget all about it and keep struggling with your weight and your health. You can continue to gain more weight or get sicker or possibly even get a chronic illness. You can also go back to your old ways of being and continue to try different meal plans or exercise plan and continue to not like how you look and feel and not be able to wear the clothes you want to wear or not be able to go to the places you want because you're ashamed or you're uncomfortable. You can also continue to live with low energy and the secret fear of getting a disease like cancer or having a stroke or heart attack. You know what? If you are done with this and this way of living and being, and you truly want to get into the best shape of your life in the next 45 to 60 days and really unlock your full potential and your beauty and gorgeousness and have tons of energy and feel vibrant and confident that lasts all day long so that you can perform at your peak. Imagine walking into a room, maybe at work or at a restaurant or party, and you command attention because confidence is just pouring out of you because you are so beautiful and thin and healthy and happy. If this is you, if this is what you want, here's what I have for you. You see, my team and I have set aside some time in the next 48 hours to speak to you personally about how you can start to apply these shifts to lose weight today. Whatever your biggest challenges are, we've seen them and we know how to overcome it. We're going to help you craft a step-by-step plan to help you to start to lose weight, whether you have 10 pounds or 70 pounds or more to lose, and like I said before, keep it off forever. So what we're going to do is we're going to get clear on three things: what's been keeping you overweight, what you need to do about it, and a plan to get you there quickly. So the cost is absolutely free. To qualify, you must be 10 pounds overweight and ready to lose the weight now and never gain it back. If that's you, go ahead and book a session now. Spaces are very limited. Sign up today. Go to joanofhealth.com/apply. joanofhealth.com/apply. So who is this for? You know what? This isn't for everyone. You've got to be sick and tired of being overweight, ready and committed to lose weight, and go on your last diet. Once again, if that's you, go ahead and book a session now. So you're probably asking, well, why are we doing this? We're doing this because you know what? I've got an insatiable desire to end suffering. And I've been there. I know what it's like to suffer and be on the weight loss merry-go-round. People are dying unnecessarily, and it can be prevented. I don't want to see people suffer anymore and go back on yo-yo diets and watch as the weight continues to creep up on you again. I don't want anyone else to live like this anymore because you know what? I have the answers. So go to joanofhealth.com/apply. Space is limited. You can see the link at the right of the screen. Go ahead and click now. Also, if you're listening on a smartphone device and you're in full screen mode, you may need to get out of full screen mode so that you can see the button to apply. When you click on that button, you're going to be taken to my calendar page. So select whichever time works, and I'll need you to fill out a couple of questions to help me make the best use of our time together. I'm telling you, it's going to be the best call you've ever had regarding your health and your life. So before we go, I want to share an email from one of my clients who struggled for a long time, and she finally lost all of her excess weight, and I'm so proud of her. Here's what she wrote. Dear Joan, I truly feel that the work we did together helped me to lose all of my belly fat and learn to lead a healthy lifestyle. I've lost over 60 pounds. I never in a million years thought I would be this thin again. And you know what? If I hadn't worked with you, I would still be struggling with my weight and wearing baggy clothes. I would have been eating the same foods that were keeping me addicted and fat and miserable. And I'm happy to have you share my quote and my story if it can help just one person be as happy, healthy, thin, and free as I am. Thank you so much for all of your help. Your guidance and support was invaluable. Monica. Like I said, she lost 60 pounds. Her waist size is under 30 inches, and she hasn't been this weight since she was in college. She went through a bad divorce, and you know what? She's dating again, and she loves shopping for new clothes. So once again, the URL is www.joanofhealth.com/apply. Once again, joanofhealth.com/apply. You need to take action today because you're going to continue to gain weight, and I guarantee you will. This is not a joke. The average woman in America gains 10 to 15 pounds per decade. It sneaks up on you, and one day you're going to be 45, 50 pounds overweight, right? Well, it's been great spending time with you. Thank you so much, and I look forward to speaking with you soon.